Now we move on to classifying polynomials. When we're talking about classifying polynomials, we are more or less talking about the number of terms. That's how we categorize polynomial into different classifications. So, the first one you saw was a one-term polynomial. That's what the previous video was about. A one-term polynomial is called a monomial. So that's your 2, your 3y squared, your 1/4 zw to the third. All of those would be categorized as monomials. If the polynomial is 2 terms, and what a 2-term polynomial is, it's a polynomial that has 2 monomials being added that can't simplify to be one monomial. So a 2-term polynomial, we call it a binomial. So if we were to add those two, 2 plus 3y squared, those can't be combined and simplified because they're not like terms. These 2 terms make a polynomial we call a binomial. If you saw something like 1/4 zw cubed plus zw cubed, this wouldn't be a binomial, and the reason is that you can actually add 1/4 of a zw cubed plus a whole zw cubed, and it adds to be 1 1/4 zw cubed, which I prefer to write it as 5/4 zw cubed. So this is a binomial because we have 2 terms that can't be simplified. This is not a binomial because those 2 terms can be simplified to be 1 term. So this in essence is a monomial in disguise, that being the monomial right there. So if we were to see something like x squared plus x, this is a binomial because you cannot combine an x squared and an x and simplify it to be 1 term. It's just x squared plus x. That's a binomial. If we see a polynomial that consists of 3 terms, again, these terms are going to be monomial terms. We will call that a trinomial. So monomial, binomial, trinomial. Bicycle, tricycle, 2 wheels, 1 wheel. Monocle, one of those weird glasses that just has 1 lens. We don't call it a monocycle, it's called a unicycle, so you can't use the bicycle analogy with monomial. But a 3-term polynomial would be 3 monomials that cannot be added and simplified to be less than 3 terms. So there's an example of a trinomial. Any polynomial consisting of 4 unique monomial terms that can't be simplified is simply called a 4-term polynomial. And if there's 5 terms, so for instance, if I threw a plus 1 there, those can't be added, we would call that a 4-term polynomial. There's no quadnomial or anything like that. So anything beyond the trinomial is called a 4-term polynomial, a 5-term polynomial, etc. But monomial, binomial, trinomial, those are the ones you want to be aware of.